Happy Friday. We are back here at Racing for the 3-day race weekend. I always trip up on this.
3-day race week.
Yes, a 3-day race weekend. I always trip up on that, but I am here. I am Callie Francois here with Keith Fustel, and we have a post time of 12:05, so we got going early for you guys. The track is fast. Obviously, no turf. The temperature is going to be in the mid-40s, a little bit of wind going on, a little bit of wind chill, so we're inside, and we're likely going to be inside for a very, very long time, Keith. But let's kick things off right away in this 9-race card with this claiming 10,000, which have never won two, going a 1-turn mile here on the dirt, and you land on the number 7 Notion to tap it.
Just remember, 12:05 post. A little audible here last week, so I got that late Sunday, and I was ready. I almost missed it. You know, you get in such a routine, but hey,
you do.
Let's go.
I almost did the same thing.
I am going to go with Notion to tap it here in the opener. I think obvious favorite. It's going to be the 8. It's over. A little more value here with the 7. Notion to tap it on a track. You know, the speed kind of got away a little bit. It was a little bit of a speed lean track on that sloppy sealed surface November 11th. This horse got back to conditioned company after a really good try, I thought, in the Maryland Million starter. Finished up well. Going back to 1 turn, I think that's going to be the key. I'm hoping we can get a little bit of a contested pace lined up here because I think he's going to need just a little bit of help. He's sustaining runs. I think if he holds form, he's 1-2. If It's Over runs his race, he's going to win it at a very short price. Stimulus Maker looks to be the main threat early. But Stimulus Maker has shown the ability to sit a little bit. So it'll be interesting how this first quarter, 3/8 of a mile develops. But Notion to tap it, I think, at the price is 7-2. I will key around him to get the most value out of this race.
And I go with the other 7-2 Stimulus Maker. I just go ahead. I'm not usually one to go with the speed, but I really like that performance of that off the turf event. A bit of a shorter field, obviously, that last time out with the scratches, but it proves that you get a little bit of confidence. The time after that, going back on the turf, does concern me a little bit. Going the 9 furlongs, we've seen him. We haven't. I mean, every time I see him go for 9 furlongs, he goes just okay. So I'm going to give him a little bit of pass at that. I just like him particularly for this mile distance, whether it's 2 turns or it's 1 turn. I'm going back to that Laurel effort 2 back, and then I'm also going back to that Colonial effort back in August, where this horse, as you said, was able to track off the speed a little bit. And then, of course, It's Over 6-5. If that horse is able to take away with the speed at all, it'll be interesting to see what happens between Stimulus Maker and It's Over.
If you look and compare days, they both ran on October the 15th. It's Over ran lengths faster. It wasn't even close, right, when you're looking at the final times. It's Over ran a little faster early, ran a little faster late. He's going to have a major hiccup. That Charlestown race, maybe the flow, as it does sometimes, 7/8 a mile, it gets away from horses early, and they just don't pick their feet up. They kind of scramble on the bull rank. So I'll give him a little bit of a pass there. That winner ran a big number, 81. But let's settle on Notion to tap it. I like your 3 horses. Kind of a question mark horse for me, but also might add a little bit of punch to your exotics if he gets in there.
Absolutely. And race number 2 starts the early pick 4. Of course, Keith Fusel has a ticket for us lined up. Keith, how do you play it today?
Yeah, $24 ticket, 1-3 to get you started. Johnny French Fry, and great days ahead. Great days ahead. He's going to have to run faster. We'll see if he can do it. Showed a little talent first time out. Race 3, 1, 3, and 4. Appalachian Heights coming back. This is a tricky race to line. You know, I've kind of just leaned on the Barbosa factor, dropping back down in for the tag here for Appalachian Heights. Maybe she can get it done. Race 4, 2 deep, Callie, with the 4 and the 8 Smile. Brian Boondoggle gets back to a fast track. And race 5, 2, 5, 9, 10. That was going to be a little bit deeper as well. We had a scratch of the 1, scratch of the 6, so I was kind of able to condense that ticket. Yeah, a little bit, make it a little bit cheaper.
Definitely.
There you go.
Absolutely. A $24 ticket for Keith's early pick 4 that starts in this second race here today in this claiming 20,000. 7 furlongs on the dirt for the 2-year-olds. Keith, you land, and I have this horse underneath. Johnny French Fry on the rail for Hugh McMahon, just breaking that score last time out, so we just cut back in distance, and I can easily see why you have this horse on top.
Yeah, this horse is into sale, I think, at Timonium B-Suckers. He's done a lot lately. Unloads a lot of horses over Timonium at that sale. We'll see if he stays in or if he gets claimed today for the $20,000. He's a third-time gelding. He broke well. He put things together last time out with Barbosa. He's going to be into the flow, I think, early. Frettiness to his outside, I think, might be a little bit quicker. But I think Johnny French Fry can sit. He chased a really good horse his 3 races back, and Johnny Z from Albany, who we're going to see tomorrow in the Maryland Juvenile.
Yes.
So I'll go key around him, Johnny French Fry, and the 3. Great Days Ahead. Yes, going to have to run a little bit better, but let's go to that video of his debut run. I thought, all things considered, I'm going to give him a pass on the Fig and maybe the company lines because the horses that came back haven't run great. But look at that. A little bounce around out of the gate. Always tricky from that inside post position. Scrubbed on pretty hard through this opening 16th of a mile to get Poe. And once he gets this position, he's able to kind of settle him down just enough. He's not scrubbing nearly as much as he was early right here.
So breather.
Sits here, gets outside to the better part of the going on the 11th, and is able to kind of reel in the speeds. He's going to go clear. And I like the last 1/8 of a mile of what you see the jockey Angel Cruz does here. He goes, you know what? I got this. I'm feeling good. He's liking this off track. You see Munnings on the bottom side.
Right.
He's just going to coast home, take a peek to his inside, measure any competition. And nobody is going as quick as Great Days Ahead. Hence, they got away with one there. They're going to step up to 20, and we'll see if he can kind of handle this step up today.
In addition, looking at that, we said he kind of had a breather, but he didn't have much of a breather. I mean, Angel was scrubbing on him the entire backside. He got a little bit of a breather right at the half-mile pole, maybe to the 3/8, but by the time we see that clip that we just saw at the 3/8, Angel is scrubbing already. So didn't really get too much of a breather, so that just adds to the effect of Great Days Ahead, and hopefully he didn't take too much out of him, but he sure loved that mud last time out.
Yes, he did.
I go ahead and take a chance on Read the Spec on the outside, again bumping up in class, but I liked it's a sense of that was a bit of a professional go it's always nice to see Carlos Lopez to take a horse and take him from behind instead of slamming him to the front. So we're going to take that similar approach on the outside. It's the same type of setup that he got his last win out.
He was on that track on the 18th. I think that was a Friday. That track changed a little bit. It was slower. It was more demanding. A little bit of a loop and swoop tactic worked for a lot of horses. He rode that wave. He's a 2-time winner. I don't think this is a major step up for him. He's showing that he likes to win. He can get it done, and he'll make a progression from off the pace.
Absolutely. Race number 3, this claiming 5,000, a mile here on the dirt. You and I both have the 3 and the 4 in our picks, but you land on the number 4, Appalachian Heights, for a Charlie Frog. J-Ron Barbosa needs to get this, not necessarily a need the lead type, but really things just did not work out for him last time out.
No, it was hung wide early, 4 and 5 wide outside horses into the turn. It was a much, much better field, and really wasn't responding at the quarter pole. And Albert says, you know what, hey, wait for another day. We're not gonna beat her up. And she comes back into a spot. They go get Barbosa. That could be a little bit of a tell, right?
Right.
What's the percentage? Yeah, it's positive ROI, 20%. Yeah.
Together? Are you talking about Barbosa and Frog together?
Yeah. So they're doing okay.
On the dirt, 6 for 23, 26%.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I think she's going to settle into a good spot here. Inside, save a little bit of ground. The rail horse is quicker, Viking Queen. I think she's going to go away. Even Thea's Theme might be a little bit of a price user. She's going to kind of stretch back out here to the 1-turn mile, and I think she's going to be forward. But Appalachian Heights, she's shown the ability to keep grinding at the mile distance. She's 3 for 5 at this distance. So I'm going to take her back with Barbosa today and the drop.
Absolutely. You go 4-3-1-2. I go 3-2-4-1. Race number 4. Is this another claiming 5,007 furlongs here on the dirt, which starts the Rainbow Pick 6. We've got a carryover that we saw. If we could pick up that board from the Rainbow Pick 6, there we go. 11,013. That's going to be climbing by the time that gets to race number 4. My ticket, I didn't go so wide on a couple of these. I couldn't really find a single in some of these. You could have, but I just didn't want to take a chance, so I just kind of played it streamlined, played it safe. Of course, race number 5 could have gone wider, and then I also could have gone wider in race number 7 as well. But a $43.20 ticket. Like I said, I found it hard to have faith in a single today for
No
this sequence.
boondoggle, though, Kelly.
No boondoggle.
No boondoggle.
No boondoggle. We'll get to that. We'll get
Okay.
to that in literally just a second as that starts here in
All
this
right.
race, this claiming 5,007 furlongs on the dirt. And let's go ahead and get a video on that number 8, boondoggle, that Keith Fusel loves so much.
Yeah, I know one thing boondoggle doesn't love, and that's an off track. Boondoggle hates the off track. Eased in latest, tired readily, the comment on that sloppy seal track, and sandwiched in between two really poor efforts on a sloppy seal track is a win. With a buyer of 69 that is going to beat this field if he can put it together, and he sits this day just tracking, moves up comfortably, now kind of knifing between horses. I like this move here by the rider, and just going to go ahead, take command, and open up 4 and some change. Good effort. This is what he needs. He needs to kind of get back on a fast track. 7/8 works for him, especially against this group. I don't know if he's going to want to go out and battle with our hoisted mast early, or maybe in confusion, Baby Boy should have had it. I think he's going to be perched just off of it. His main competition is Smile Brian. Here's a horse that's predominantly been turf, started the first 11 races of his career on the main track, has some good back numbers to go to, so they can take this. They're going to plumb it down to 5 and see what happens. You've got the Barbosa factor there, but I think the X-Man might go ahead and get the jump on Smile Brian. 8-4-4-8 will be my keys in here. One ran really good last time. Confusion, Baby Boy.
Yes,
man, he ran really big.
So I was trying to make excuses to bump that horse up a little bit more in my picks, but let's just. I want to see what comes out of this race here this time as far as getting this horse more forwardly placed. And the fast track, this horse will be fine on a fast track. But again, the slop might have helped this guy out a little bit. He's been somewhat consistent on a wet dirt in his career.
Yeah.
So 5 for 50% in the money. So why not? Race number 5 is a maiden claiming 30, going 5.5 on the dirt for the girls, for the 2-year-old girls, and you land on the number 5, Love Notion. For Damon Deal DeVico, I love that you picked this horse because this horse was just off of my picks. I was fighting having this horse off on my ticket, so take it away, Keith.
The 1 was going to be tough, I thought. Speed from the inside. Scratch the 1, Donna's Courage. Scratch the 6, Latash, who was a horse that looked to be improving for Ricky Silliman. Made a pretty good run last time out. Rode the wave of the racetrack, but those 2 don't show up today. So do I want to take a super short price on Ellie Victorina or Bossiness? No, I like to look for a little bit of value. I think I might have had Love Notion lined a little too high at 8 to start with. Now I know she's going to come down in price. The thing that I don't like about her, first I go about the negative. Bought for 40 and, the time to get the horse to the race, and now you're in for 30. That bugs me a little bit. But you know what? The barn's been doing well. They're going to be aggressive here. The mare was good, 5 for 41 stakes place. This horse you got 4 winning siblings, kin to Celtic Katie, who was a good horse. I think it's there. This is the right type of field, man. If she can run a 40 buyer first out, she can beat this group. So, yeah, she's going to have to be tied on. And Damon, with this owner, I got a little stat. Last 2 years, 19% with a 247 ROI. They've had 2 firsters, a win, and a second.
Right, and here's the thing: when you're talking about that in for the 30 instead of going 45 MSW, just because I'm not seeing really quick gate works out of this horse, and that's primarily the reason. It's just, and that's here's the thing: that's why you have an owner who has faith in the trainer to put these horses in the proper spots, and that's what generates a positive ROI when it comes to owner-trainer combination. So that's what I really like in that from what I just heard. But let's take a look at the number 9, Ellie Victorina. We have a video with the one. The one was scratched, but let's talk about Ellie Victorina here today.
Yeah, Donna's Courage was in this race, but Ellie Victorina gets in a little trouble there. You see Shuffle back into the turn, caught in between horses. Is the 2 horse in the white and blue silk. Has to work a trip, or white and green. Is it colorblind here? It's just
white and green.
Yeah. Shifts out, gets wide around the turn. I thought she might bring a little bit more punch. 5.5, going to be a little concerned. But she showed with the blinkers on last time a little bit more natural speed, but just kind of got in a little pickle early in that first 8, having this shuffle. So second time blinkers, an outer draw here. Maybe it's a stalk and kind of move into a type of trip for the 9.
Well, and she's a bit tiny too. So any type of move, she gets squeezed out very, very early. So again, this outside post, I think that's going to be the biggest thing that helps her out here today. Let's talk about the number 2, because I don't. Little Spinner, Annette Eubanks. Eubanks, not Eubanks, I just wanted to highlight, and Tim highlighted this last week, she's doing awesome at this meet.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So and she's, we don't see a lot out of these first time outs, but the bullet work, that's a 3/4 work, 1 to 2. Okay, but the bullet work after that, the 48 and flat on November 26th, that's what got my attention a little bit, Keith.
Well, I'm going to give a little more attention to the firsters in here just because of what I've seen from the horses that have run.
Right.
The horse that was down at Ocala, bought down there, went and looked at that work, 10-3, good, steady work, kept on going well. You've got Barbosa again. The barn is on a roll right now.
Right.
I mean, this is she's sustained. I just think, why not? Hard spuns, okay first, but the fact that Barbosa going to need to get away fairly cleanly from inside, but definitely a use in here. I don't want to get beat by a horse like that.
No, because we both don't love bossiness as much as we probably should, but interesting thing, we talked about the stat poor last race where the horse gets double digits, and then what happens next time out. Jamie Nuss is 23% with that, so he can bring them back up after and place them properly and do what needs to be done. So we all both include bossiness, and we're going to be right back. We're going to come for the rest of the card after this commercial break. Hello again and welcome back. Let's talk about race number 6 in this Claiming 16. Never win 3-7 furlongs on the dirt for the 3-year-old girls and up. Let's get into this video right away on Red Queen from Mario Saray, Grant Whitaker. As always, they team up very well, but this was a nice enough effort, really flashy effort last time out, Keith.
Yeah, it was a reach, I guess you would say, off the claim first time out, then went into allowance company, then really put it together, stretching out to 7/8 of a mile. Do we have that video?
We're waiting on the video.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And just got into position early at a good price at 5-1. Summer Velvet, 4-5 shot, had won multiple races, right? Won more than 3, if I'm not mistaken. And she just, was more just into the race. She took to task. I mean, they got to riding her, granted, early, 3/8 pole, and she kind of levels off, and she gets better, Callie, I think, as this race gets a little bit longer.
Right.
Starting pulling away here, and it's going to win by 5 3/4. A little jump up in here, in for the 12-5, not the 16. Maybe wants to save a little bit of weight. We'll see. But Mario Saray, who's a trainer here, runs his horses often, not ashamed to do so. He likes the act. He puts them in there, right? So, okay. He can get on sneaky rolls, and he's on one right now.
Right.
Last 21 days at Laurel, 5 for 14, 36%, 6 for 14 in the money with an ROI of 583. We've got a scratch of Hot Looking Royal, the 2 who I thought was going to be a major player in here for Eubanks. So Red Queen back at 7/8 will need to be put into the race early. Golden Effect looks to be the one that's maybe going to go out there. She was very keen last time, needs to settle on this drop. But Red Queen, Abadale is another one here for Ness. Look like Ness might be the major competition, I would think, when you break it all down. She's going great guns. 2 good tries and improving effort with a win last time. She had it her own way at Parks. I don't know if she's going to have it as easy today,
No, she won't.
But she's shown the ability to kind of sit outside and move on if she needs to. So she's versatile enough. She's in very good form. This barn 0 for its last 10 starters at Laurel, but hitting the board 5 of 10, and prior to that was on a tear. So the barn is holding for him. I think it's the 3 or the 9 in here.
Another thing about Mario Saray, the whole Grant Whitaker that I wanted to pick up. So Mario claims this horse, right, with Toledo taking this horse to the lead. Grant rides this horse next time out, and granted, it's an allowance, but Grant probably thought that this horse was going to be up there a little bit more. Grant realized that next time out, and she showed it that next time out, that you just have to get riding on this filly early.
Yeah.
You have to get riding on her early. So we're going to be seeing that similar performance. I like the stretch out in her. So yes, absolutely the 3. We both like the 3. We both go with that 9 underneath, and then I go 8-5. Well, you go 5-4. Well, let's talk about the 5. It seems like you want to talk about the 5.
Yeah, the 5 a little bit. I mean, I can say she was really keyed up. The comment Keen opened up a weekend, but dropping down. She ran some pretty quick internals Corrales 2 races back at the mile distance. So maybe getting back to 1 turn will do her some good. And the 9 again, talking about her in form. That horse she beat the other day won again with a 63, and I think is a 5-time winner now.
Right.
So that's you want to get horses that beat winners, multiple winners, and that's kind of what you got with the 3 and the 9.
Race number 7 is a maiden claiming 20, going a 1-turn mile here on the dirt again, and we see this a little bit differently. Same horses, but very differently. Let's take a video on your 1A, Isabella's Glory. Horse is going to be breaking from the 9 post for Jose Corrales today.
Wayback Machine, right? November 14th, 2021. Oh, man, in its 3rd race, stretching out after 2 sprints.
I like
Today
this.
we're coming off a break, turf to dirt, a sprint. So we'll see if the bottom is completely there. But she makes a pretty good run, saving ground, moving into contention, good little ride. It's going to kind of make this bid the challenge. Just isn't quite good enough. It gets beat a neck when it's all said and done, but Sophia's Secret, as we know, has gone on and done pretty well. So company lines are there for Isabella's Glory. Corrales, turf to dirt, has been a strong angle lately really strong, and overall the last couple of years has been a good move, a profitable move for this barn. I'd like to have maybe seen one more race into her before going back out, but this group works. Victorian Riviera, Keen, got caught in a duel early, and I thought still held on pretty well, but she's going to have to deal with Lady Mosler, the other part of this entry, right? Are they both in here?
They're both in.
So I just didn't make sure we didn't get like a late scratch. So
nope.
I think this is one that's going to benefit off the pace. Lunar Ice for Damon, the 2, I don't think you can dismiss. Really brutal start last time. She broke it step slow, so she kind of created her own trouble, then was bumped around and pinched, but got into position. I expected a little bit more punch. But maybe that start just took enough out of her. So keen around the 1A here. Well, if you get 2 for the price of 1.
Isabella's Glory changed the jockey from Dennis Araujo to Charlie Marquez.
Thank you.
So Dennis stays on the number 1, Lady Mosler, and that's the thing with Isabella's Glory. I wanted to see one more run, which is why I have her underneath. But I love that pick that you had, where she can transition really well from sprinting to stretching out. I mean, we talked about Jose Corrales earlier. He's 5 for 16 from turf to dirt as of late.
Wow.
And then it gets better. 2 seconds and 3/5. So 12 for 16 from turf to dirt as of lately. So, and he's not doing too bad either with the second-time routers, but we'll see what happens there. And, of course, we both also include, we talked about Victorian Riviera, of course. So let's go ahead to race number 8. Move on. This starter optional claiming 27 furlongs on the dirt. And let's talk about your best bet of the day, My Boss Lady.
Yeah, she's a value play and a slash best bet. I always, anyway, a value play is a good play.
I like a best bet at 4-1. Absolutely, that's great.
Is this just maybe a little bit of a reach? I mean, Unrequited Love is fast.
Right.
The other Kieran, I've got the higher price Kieran here. It's just 7/8. I mean, she ran really fast 2 races back, got a little tired. She's going to clear. It's going to be her race to lose. My Boss Lady, I'm just taking a little shot at a price. She's got races on the go back sprinting that work for me, and looking at her race, it looks like 7/8 is going to be a perfect distance for her running style. I'd like to see maybe a little bit more help up front, but the value is going to be there. They scratched out of a race not so long ago, and they come back here with a protect move. Bravery's certainly going to be a very short price. Is she pace dependent? Maybe not. She actually won a race, back in July. They went quick internals. But she circled and sustained. It wasn't a contested pace. It was just a little bit of an honest pace up top.
I think
but aggressive move here.
But I think it's needed. I think it's much needed. The Simonium Distaff, there wasn't much in that field. The biggest, there was Malibu Beauty, but then Hybrid, the Malibu Beauty, sorry. So, but again, that's off of a bull ring. Horses are particular, especially fillies, on a bull ring. So it's hard to take that too seriously. So I like the run, but then they got to touch ambitious, drop her down, give her a little bit of a break, and I think that's exactly what she needs. Yeah,
and it's horses like this. You look at them, you think, okay, we try to make a lot of times of the what about the pace? What about this? What about? Sometimes they can just sit back. Guess what? Run your own race.
It doesn't, and that's
guess what? The speed comes back, and you're doing your thing, and you run your 7/8 in your normal time, and you win it. So there you go.
Race number 9, our nightcap of the day, is this claiming 10, 8 furlongs on the dirt, and we both land on the number 3 on the engine for Damon Deal-DeVico, J-Ron Barbosa, 38% together on the dirt as of lately. We've been talking. I mean, it's easy when J-Ron's the leading rider right now, so you're going to be getting these types of stats. But this is here's the thing: this is the first time we're seeing Barbosa on the engine. So that's where I kind of take a little bit of consideration as well.
Absolutely. Little Rank just couldn't really settle last time out and has had some issues in some races. 4 wide early, 3 races back. We're going the mile distance, positional speed, and I think stamina is there off of its most recent tries. I just think this is going to be a grinded out type of finish in this field. Nobody's lighting the world on fire. I think the play is mainly going to come from the 2 and the 3 from a wagering standpoint. Barbosa goes here. Was named on the 2. We'll see. This is another one I think that's in the sale over at Timonium, St. Marco. Maybe not. But
well, on top of that, I mean,
this one had a tough trip last time.
Well, and in saying that, Barbosa just whether he gets them there, he just happens to magically get these horses up near the top end of that field in the beginning of the race. So I think that's a big illusion or something that's alluded to that. So you have Casket underneath for Carlos Sepulveda, Johan Rosado. Let's go. Are we gearing back on that race from 3 back, Keith?
They definitely tossed the last. I 4 wide early, better field, just didn't pick its feet up. But this is one of those things where most of the other races on the page work to put him into the mix. He doesn't have any real explosive type of move, but a steady progression might just put him into the mix against this group. Yeah, that's why. I mean, looking comparatively, I mean, he's kind of paired up mid-50s, low 60 kind of figures. That will work against this field.
And then we both have Mankell and Creek underneath, Jose Corrales, John Brasino underneath. Just taking a stab at that one might improve being back on a fast track again today.
All right.
So, yes, Keith, let's talk about your best bet and value play.
Okay.
Your best bet wasn't too long ago, just a couple of races ago, in race number 7 or race number 8.
We're going to go 4 for the best bet.
We're going to go 4 for the best bet. That's your best bet.
Boondoggle. They're close. Boondoggle.
I typoed in my notes.
That's okay. Back to the main track. I think it's a perfect spot, stalking trip to move into. It gets the jump on the favorite. And value. Again, little reach maybe here with Kieran first off the claim, but he's deadly first off the claim. Does well. My boss lady. We've got a boss lady of our own around here. We're not going to name names, but maybe there's a little hunch play of the day. She knows who she is.
I'm not going to bite. But
that's not you,
good. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay. Let's talk about a different boss in the sense of the retirement of Where She Told Me to Go. Has been announced last week that he's retired, and we're just going to play a clip of all of his successes at Maryland, apart from this one here in the Gallant Bob over at Parks. But we're going to give you guys this tribute to watch Where She Told Me to Go, and after this, we will leave you guys to Dave Rodman for some changes and scratches. Where She Told Me to Go, the Savage.
Oh, there it was, the Savage and the Gallant Bob. But, man, what a great career, doing the right thing, and, wishing all the best for his future. He was a really cool racehorse, and he did his thing, and he knew where the wire was, man. He put himself in position, and he would grind it out. So best of luck to him.